Mike Moore Media, the first place to hear Rockingham County news and information.
We're checking in with our friends on campus at Rockingham Community College today. We're going to find out about a brand new agribusiness program at RCC. John Ayers, faculty program lead for that agribusiness program. He's on the line. Hey, John, how you doing?
Good morning, Mike. Good to be here.
Well, it's good to have you there at RCC for sure. Before we get into this program and what you're putting together, tell us about John Ayers, a little bit about you, a little background, please.
Well, I'm originally and still reside in Patrick County, Virginia. Grew up on an apple orchard there. Worked with my father for quite a while. Got a bachelor's and master's degree from Virginia Tech and worked for Tech a little while. Came back and worked with my dad for about 30 years growing apples. We diversified a little bit and put in about 11 acres of wine grapes, which we closed out the apple deal after Dad passed away. But I've got still got 11 acres of wine grapes that we sell to commercial wineries in the fall. Mm-hmm. I operate a retail produce market right now. I have had two others at one time or other. We've grown an assortment of things on the farm, from tomatoes to sweet corn. Had about 18 or 20 acres of pumpkins at one time. Just an assortment of agricultural endeavors that we've played with. So feel like we've got enough experience that maybe we can help students in Rockingham County with an ag business program.
Well, I'm looking over your resume here. A very impressive background. You're bringing so much to this program, John, and it sounds like this is something you're so passionate about that been in your blood for a long time, I believe.
It has, and still is. I never thought that I would be in a position like I am now, but it was, I guess, about 15 or 18 years ago. My son was playing baseball at Patrick Henry Community College, and they cornered me at one of his ball games and wanted to know if I'd be interested in doing a horticulture and viticulture program for them. They talked me into doing that, and that morphed into an ag business program that we held there for a number of years. Helped a lot of kids from an assortment of agricultural backgrounds to gain a degree and get out into the world of work. We've got a lot of kids all over North Carolina and Virginia, and some out in the Midwest that are products of that program. So mm-hmm. It doesn't really matter what area of agriculture a kid is interested in. We can offer them something in an ag business program.
Well, it is diverse for sure. We talked a little bit about that before we started this podcast, but let's get into that right now, John. Give us a definition, really. What is agribusiness? Well,
it's a term that's hard to define because there's so many areas of it. But we're going to look at basic agricultural enterprises and operations and the business components that are involved in that. The classes are going to have, we're going to have animal science class, plant science classes, pest control, soil sciences, marketing, an introduction to business class, an accounting, an ag economics, some ag chemicals, farm business, then ag law and ethics classes.
Wow.
That are going to be involved in the program. And then there is going to be a work-based learning component to provide a real-world experience for these younger students that are coming out into the world of work. And in the past, I've found that is one of the most valuable components of the program. They get, the book knowledge and so forth, but a touch of reality is something that a lot of these younger folks really need. And we've had kids that went into a work-based learning area and found out what they really wanted to do. Some of them will stay in that particular area. They'll fit in real well with with the jobs they're placed in, and move forward in that. It's ag business is it's just the world of business associated with agriculture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who would really benefit from a degree in agribusiness, John?
Well, we've got so many kids that are coming with a farm background that may not feel like they want to go into a 4-year school. They can come to us, get their basic gen ed requirements, and then they'll pick up if there's a kid that's interested in a plant science program. We'll have opportunities to do that. We've had kids that are interested in animal science. They'll go that way. So it's we tailor it. We have the opportunity to tailor it to a student's interest. We give them a broad base, but yet we're able to help them in areas that they want to do. The average age of a farmer now in the country is approaching 60 years of age.
Wow.
And there are a lot of these shoes that are going to have to be filled by younger folks, and we're hoping to be able to provide some individuals that will fall into some of these positions that are available. A lot of these guys may not want to retire, but they'd like to have somebody to come in to fill part of their footsteps, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah.
A lot of that's going on.
Yeah, and you've mentioned some there, but maybe a little more information there about some of the classes in the program at RCC.
Okay, this fall, for example, we're going to do an introduction to plant science. We're going to do an introduction to animal science, and then a sustainable agriculture class. Those are the three that are on the schedule for the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And the spring schedule sort of escapes me right now. I've been focused on the one that we're doing now, but there's going to be an awful lot of hands-on. We're going to have some book, naturally some just old dirty bookwork, but
Yeah.
have an element of a hands-on component. We've got a new greenhouse that's we're on the finishing touches of now that we'll have available to do a hands-on component for our plant science class. We've recently hired a young lady to do our animal science classes. She has a bachelor's and master's degree from NC State. She's from a local girl. She's from the northern part of Stokes County. When I first called her to ask if she might be interested in the job, she was helping her mother load eggs on a tractor trailer. They've got about 40,000 chickens that are laying eggs for the poultry industry. Right?
That's a big farm there.
Yeah, they also have horses and hogs and things of that type. She's coming from a farm background, but the young lady is, I think, going to be a real asset to our program. She's just as nice as she can be, but she's actually taught classes at NC State while she was there working on her master's, and so she came highly recommended, and I think she's going to be a real asset to the program.
Oh, that sounds great. That's a real plus for the program at RCC. It sounds like with you and what you're doing, and then adding her to the team. What degree programs are available in agribusiness?
Well, we're going to offer an associate's degree in applied science, and we are currently talking with NC State and trying to become a member of their PAC track program, which currently I think is about 10 community colleges that have a PAC track arrangement with NC State, which the advisors at NC State will work with us to advise our students as to the classes that they need to take. And if they complete our program with a 3.0, they'll automatically be admitted to NC State in their ag business program if they desire to do that.
Mm-hmm.
We're also working with North Carolina A&T in an arrangement to have our folks transfer directly into their program. So there'll be a minimal loss of credits where they'll get credit for most of the classes that they take here. We'll move right on there into basically a junior level in a bachelor's degree program. So we feel real good about having those two arrangements set up. But, you know, to answer your question, our kids will come out of here with an associate's degree program.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And, you know, and you mentioned some big names there with NC State and others. How great is that to have? How important is that to have that connection there right here at Rockingham Community College?
Oh, we feel really great about it. You know, a couple of years ago, I went to a program at NC State and talked with those folks about us developing a program here, and they were really enthusiastic about doing that. They wanted us to do what we needed to do it, and we basically followed their guidance along with A&T's guidance to establish our program. We built it with those folks in mind, and yet we're going to be able to tailor it to the needs of the local community too. So we're trying to create as many spokes in the wheel as we could do it. And I feel really good about where we are at this point. We're working. This COVID deal has made it a little bit hard for us to recruit or make students aware that we're going to have the program, but that's one of my tasks this week is to get some posters out and try to make people aware that we're going to have the program, and we're going to do it in spite of COVID one way or another. We're going to make sure it goes forward. So.
Well, let's talk about that just a minute, John. You're mentioning hands-on, and I jotted down these keywords here: real-world learning experience, which that brings a great facet to the program for sure. But as we get into these programs in the fall, give us an update on how things are going to be on campus. How are you working around this pandemic?
Well, the last information that I had, we're going to design our classes so we will actually have sort of a hybrid type situation. We're going to be offering a 2-hour a week learning experience with each of the classes. That'll be done with social distancing and all the things that we need to do. And then we'll have a 1-hour component each week is an online or a hybrid type environment. So we're setting our plans up so we will go forward regardless of how this works out. But
yeah.
Right now that's where we are. We're going to do a 2-hour face-to-face and a 1-hour online component. And part of that face-to-face component that I was speaking of, we will be actually doing hands-on stuff in the greenhouse. Mm-hmm. So,
let's go back a minute to the new greenhouse. Tell us a little bit more about that, John.
Well, the college had a pipe frame plastic structure that was basically demolished by that 12-inch snow we had in December a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That heavy snow and then the rain following it just collapsed the center of that house. And that's where that hydroponic unit was that you referred to earlier. Mm-hmm. There wasn't any way to really repair that. And with this new program coming on, the administration has seen fit to establish a good greenhouse for us. We've got a 70 by 100 foot polycarb, which is not glass, but it's a rigid plastic, and that has been put on a concrete pad right behind our what was the horticulture building. Now we're titled as the Agriculture building that the Farm Bureau helped the college to establish several years ago, and it's a new structure. I was getting a little worried about it a couple of weeks ago. The people that said they were going to provide it for us, they sent the unit in a tractor trailer and parked the truck there. And the guys hadn't come to put it up, but they came in about I guess it'll be 2 weeks ago tomorrow. In the course of 8 days, put this greenhouse up.
Oh, okay.
It is it's up and there, and it has a cooling system in it. It's got bench is ready to go. It's got